Today we're making classic Bran muffins. This is a great recipe from allrecipes.com. It's my husband's favorite. I like it too, which is a surprise. So let's get going. Let's make Bran muffins. Let's get started. First, as always, we pull out all our ingredients. So let's get going. We need wheat bran. We need buttermilk, flour, baking soda, and baking powder. We'll need table salt, vegetable oil, eggs, brown sugar. We need vanilla. And finally, we need our mix-ins. A lot of people like raisins, but my husband actually has hazelnuts and raisins in today's. You can put blueberries, put other fruits, so it's your choice. Make it what you like to have. So I've got this done, and I'll actually even insert how my husband chops these nuts and makes very little mess, and it's a clever little hack of his.
What he does is he puts the nuts between two pieces of paper towels and pounds them with something heavy like this mallet that we have, and they break up really nice and easy.
For this, we are going to need 3 bowls. We need our main mixing bowl. We need one for dry and one for wet. So we'll get those all ready to go. We're going to need our scale because we are weighing this for sure. Got our scale. We're going to need a 1 teaspoon measure. And we're going to need a 1 or 2 cup measuring cup. So I've grabbed my whisk for mixing, and I've also grabbed a 1/3 cup for scooping out, but you can use spoons. This is just the amount we want. First thing that we always do when we're baking is we want to put on our oven, and in our case it is to be at 375. So I put the oven on to 375, and I've made sure the racks are in the top and bottom thirds. Also, we need our muffin tins. It depends how big you make them. We make them kind of big, so we get about 18 out of the recipe. You'll see. We'll see what today holds. So I'm going to spray these with cooking spray. I've never gotten more than 18, so I've only sprayed 18 of the cups, and I've just put them to the side. So let's get started. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our dry ingredients together. We need 240 grams of all-purpose flour. There we go. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons each of baking soda and baking powder. And now we just whisk this. We do this first so our whisk is dry and clean and it makes it good. You want to make sure you give it a good whisk to get everything all mixed together so it gets into all the muffins. The next thing that we have is we're going to do our wheat bran and buttermilk mixture. This is really a big bonus for the scale because this wheat bran is messy, and everyone knows I don't like messy. We need 171 grams of wheat bran. Okay, there we go. To that, we're going to add 2 cups of buttermilk. Always shake your buttermilk, it tends to settle. And I have just a smidge more left in the container. But buttermilk works as a milk substitute in so many recipes, so don't let that little bit go to waste. So now what we do is we whisk this together, and we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes so that the bran absorbs all the buttermilk. So while we're waiting for the buttermilk and wheat bran to have its 10 minutes together, let's put our wet ingredients together. The first thing that we're going to do is put in our 2 eggs. The reason we always do the eggs first is so that we can catch any shells so they don't get in there into other ingredients. And I'm just going to grab the whisk from our bran bowl and whisk the eggs just a smidge, just so they're broken up. Next we need 2/3 of a cup of oil, and I'm just going to use the same measuring cup that I used for the buttermilk. Now we need 234 grams of brown sugar, and you can use light brown sugar, dark brown sugar, either will work. As always, I put it in a pile in case I overfill so I can scoop it out. And now 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And we just give it all a whisk together. And now while we wait for the rest of our 10 minutes to pass, I'm just going to clean up. Okay, our 10 minutes has passed, so we can now take our wheat bran buttermilk mix and we'll add in our wet bowl. And we just whisk this until it all comes together. And then we add our dry bowl. And this might start to get a bit thick for our whisk, so we can switch to a spoon, and I think I'm going to do that. So I've just grabbed this metal spoon and just give it a quick turn. You just want to stir it until there's no flour showing. Don't go slow, go quick. And then just as it's coming together, we will add in our mix-ins. And now let's grab our muffin tins. So we've got our muffin tins, and as I said, I use 1/3 of a cup measure, and I just kind of scoop it out like this. And let's see how it goes on today's measuring. So I actually got 18 today, so now we're going to put it in the oven. The recipe suggested 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to do 18 because I know that's what my oven will normally bake these at. Start at 15 and start checking after that because your oven could be different. Okay, let's have a look how they look. They're definitely browner on the top, and I think we're gonna have good luck. So I always test one of the big ones just to make sure, and it came out perfectly clean. So we will remove them from the oven and put them on a rack for 5 minutes to cool.
And here they are cooling.
Okay, they've been resting for 5 minutes, and now we're going to move them out into our racks. You can use paper liners if you like. We don't for these because they're going to go straight into the freezer and they'll keep quite well. But if you want to keep them out at room temperature, paper liners help keep them fresh during that time. Now these are good to eat anytime. I'm going to wait a few minutes to try one once they cool a little bit more, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I can't wait any longer, so let's give these a taste. You'll see that they are super moist and full of nuts and raisins. Honestly, I would probably put blueberries in them, but these are for my husband and it's his favorite. If you love Bran Muffins, I hope you give this one a try. Thanks again and see you next time. Keep cooking. Okay, maybe a little bit of butter.